you a single guy?
Yeah, sadly.
Is this a problem you're trying to fix?
Of course. Who chooses to be single?
Do you put your value and self-worth entirely in a significant other?
Where else would I put these things?
Are you incapable of being happy by yourself?
I don't know anybody that truly is.
Well, I'm here to fix this issue.
Yeah, you're the best. Your advice has never let me down.
I'm going to give you some advice so you can become that ladies' man that you deserve to be.
I do truly deserve this.
Now, before we begin, there are two different styles to picking up women: passive and aggressive. You must select yours before we begin. Is dating a numbers game to you?
Yeah, of course.
Do you lack pride and humility, but make up for it in self-confidence?
I mean, my self-confidence is off the chain.
Do you judge women solely off of their looks?
Well, how else would you judge them?
If so, the aggressive style is perfect for you.
Wow. Who would have guessed?
Now, do you know that you're desirable?
I'd like to think I am.
Do you think women should be approaching you?
Yes, that would be ideal.
Do you think dating is an endless string of mind games?
Yeah, it makes it so difficult.
If you agree with these statements, you will do well on the passive team.
Okay, team passive it is.
If you don't think any of these statements apply to you, sorry, you probably shouldn't be dating. Now, select your method and let's move on. Okay, so this may be a little old school, but let's go over the classic move of picking up girls at a bar or the club.
Man, that's old school right there. Nobody does that anymore.
If you go with the aggressive style, it's all about the approach.
You're about to see the master at work.
You may realistically be approaching every single female in the joint. Think of it like baseball. Your average may not be high, but you should be still getting hits. You gotta have a strong pickup line though. Something along the lines of how she's the only one in the place that caught your eye. The more scripted and mechanically delivered, the better the outcome.
Did it hurt? Huh? When you fell from heaven. Go away, you loser.
It's all about the reproducibility.
Did it hurt? Huh? When you fell from heaven. You're so sweet.
Now, if she doesn't throw a drink in your face, you're on to step 2. This involves suggesting something to avoid meaningful conversation. After all, your focus was mainly on delivering that pickup line of yours. You weren't thinking much about the conversation afterwards, especially one with a complete stranger. Always recommend buying drinks or dancing. This is really your only hope. Drinks may improve your personality.
You probably didn't know this, but I'm actually way less douchey when I'm drinking.
And dancing in a loud area prevents conversation, which works as well.
What's your name? What? What's your name? I can't hear you.
If all goes as planned, you may be coming home with a new number in that fancy phone of yours.
Check it, bro. Got numbers tonight. What? Yeah!
And who knows, maybe you'll hit that home run. Great job. Now, for the passive route, what you do is you post yourself up in an area where you can watch for all the ladies.
Oh my gosh, she's so pretty.
You see a girl you find attractive, you just stare at her and think really loudly that she should come over and talk with you.
She should definitely come over and talk to me.
If you do this right, she'll sense what you're thinking and start talking with you.
What's this? I sense this cool guy wanting me to come over and talk to him. I should do it. Just kidding. He's been showing me major thirsty eyes the whole night. So desperate.
If not, she obviously doesn't deserve you. Now, don't make the mistake of jumping the gun.
She's waving at me and smiling. Should I go over? That's a tough call.
Just because she keeps looking at you or smiles at you does not mean she wants you to make a move. You need to just sit tight and wait and see if she comes over to talk.
Hey there. Loser. What?
For the passive method, failure is not an option. If you get shot down, you must immediately leave the venue in humiliation. And you must wait at least a month before going out again to allow your pride to regenerate. But you're not worried in the passive game. You're a chick magnet, and women will be fighting to talk to you wherever you go.
That's right. Just look at me. I'm a kid.
Yeah, sure you are, bud.
Okay, so now let's talk about another popular method to meet women. Apps and online dating.
Finally.
I know, something actually relevant.
Now, using the aggressive method, you need to hastily create profiles in as many sites and apps as you can. Slap on whatever available pics you have, and don't worry about the bio. Nobody reads those. Once you're in, you speed through the different women's profiles.
Too old.
The more you get through, the greater the odds. You can make all the judgment you need
Nice.
by looking at a girl's cover photo for about 3 seconds.
Is that a face tattoo?
It's as simple as swipe right, swipe left.
Decent.
Now, once you start getting matches,
Yeah.
all you need to do is come up with your opening lines. Once these are selected, they literally need to be copied and pasted into all the girls' inboxes that you're trying to message. Keep responding with these generic messages to all the girls who are replying to you until one of them finally agrees to go on a date with you. Once this happens, it's game over. But really though, keep your profiles active and continue messaging other women even after you started seeing someone.
What you looking at?
Don't worry about it.
I mean, hey, you never know. You can always do better, right? Now, if you choose to use the passive method, you'll be carefully studying and evaluating the best apps and sites for you.
Man, I gotta study these top dating sites. I can only choose one. It's so tough.
Once you have the app or site selected, you need to begin meticulously designing your profile. You need to take special photos just for the occasion. Always take ones that flatter you or make you look taller, stronger, or more wealthy than you really are. If you're a bit older, select photos of you in your prime. Also, be sure to create a bio that's essentially a novel of your life. Once your artful profile is completed, all you have to do is sit back and wait. Women won't be able to resist your beautiful profile, and your inbox will be blown up with DMs in no time. You should never have to search any profiles because of this. Such thirsty behavior is intolerable in the passive method. If you have no luck, obviously it's the site or the app's fault.
Man, it's been 3 months. No messages. It's not me. This site's garbage. People need to know this site sucks and is dead.
Hell, you broke your phone.
Write a scathing review about how it's dead, and then move on to the next dating platform. Okay, now for the most important advice. Handling yourself on a first date. Going with the aggressive method, you need to immediately break the touch barrier. This is always done with a hug as soon as you arrive, even if it doesn't make any sense. Once the date begins, you really need to start the sales pitch. You obviously need to convince this girl why she should date you. The best way to do this is through talking about your accomplishments and achievements.
Okay, so let me tell you about myself. I make a lot of money. I drive a sweet car. I'm really important at work. I peaked in high school. Now let me tell you about my high school days.
Girls really do love it when you talk about yourself. If it doesn't feel like an interview, you're not doing it right.
Oh, by the way, here's my resume.
Oh, I think we went to the same college. I was
Oh no, she's talking about herself?
If she talks about herself, try not to pay attention to it too closely. You don't want to ever realize you don't actually like her personality.
Quick, stare at the cute waitress. Thank you, sunglasses.
The only thing you need to know about her is her
Wait.
name.
What was her name again? Katie?
But that isn't even always necessary.
Who cares?
Good or bad, when the date comes to a close, you always need to suggest something that indicates you're trying to hook up. The success of the date is really dependent on this result.
How was school for you?
Hey, you trying to go home with me tonight or what?
What? I barely know you.
If she makes excuses that indicate she isn't interested, never back down.
But please.
No.
You'd be surprised how effective persistence is at turning a no into a yes.
But please.
No.
Please.
Fine.
Now, if you're using the passive style, you need to use a completely different strategy for the date. Here, you need to overthink and overanalyze almost every interaction during the date.
So this place is nice. Does she really think it's nice? Or is she just being polite? Thanks. Do you come here a lot? Is this a trap question? Maybe?
Really try to anticipate what she wants and change yourself to meet those speculated desires.
Oh, by the way, I like seafood. What about you? No way. Me too. I really hate seafood. It's so awesome.
Adding to this, you need to let her lead the conversation. You really don't want to reveal too much about yourself.
So what do you do for a living? I'm an accountant. Oh, what's that like? It's cool.
This way, if the conversation trails off or becomes boring,
Uh,
it's really on her.
okay.
A good tip during the date is to not make too much eye contact with her. Staring her at this stage may come off as creepy, and you've come so far.
Yeah.
Looking at the
Yeah.
ground is a much
Yeah.
safer option.
So is your food good?
Now for the moment of truth. The date has gone well, and you're looking to score a kiss.
Man, that day went so well. It's time to get a kiss.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, though. You really need to read the situation. Are you alone with her? Are you standing or sitting? Is the spacing between you right? Is the breeze coming in from the right direction? You really need to make sure all the conditions are perfect before going in. There is absolutely nothing worse than being shut down when you go in for a kiss. If you miss your opportunity, no big deal. There's always next time.
A poor kiss. There's something in my shoe. Well, I had a good time. We should definitely do this again. Yeah, maybe.
Girls never really care if it takes you 3 to 5 dates for you to finally make physical contact. So just hang in there. So I think I've covered just about everything for meeting women and having successful dates.
Man, I hate how you made that passive dude look just like me. Can't you be original for once?
Since there are only 2 ways to approach this, it should be pretty simple. I'm not sure why people always get hung up on and struggle with it.
Yeah, dating and meeting people seems pretty simple, to be honest.
But if you follow my advice, you're guaranteed to be the lady killer you've always known you are.
You